It's time to sip the coffee and spill the tea on Talking with 3D Live. Here's your host, Derrick Dixon.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Talking with 3D Live. I'm your host, Derrick Dixon, and this is where we always sip the coffee, spill the tea. Listen, before we even get started, make sure that you do me a big favor. Click it, love it, share it, do all those things, and make sure that everybody is tuned in right now to Talking with 3D Live. I want to tell you guys, it's been just a wonderful journey with y'all supporting and making sure that you are sharing the videos, sharing our talk show, telling everybody about our talk show. We are getting booked up like you wouldn't believe. But if you still want to be a guest on Talking with 3D, all you have to do, email me, talkingwith3d@gmail.com. That is talkingwith3d@gmail.com. And as always, this is an iRose Film production. But we are going to get started here today. I have a special guest here today. It is Toni. Drakhan. I knew I was going to mess that up. Toni Drakhan is here in the studio today. And when I tell you Toni has a story like none other, and I'm just excited just to sit down and have a talk with him. I want to tell you just a little bit about him before we get started with his story. Toni, born in Brooklyn, fell in love with hip hop when he stumbled into Run DMC's Who's House video set. Graduated from FIT, which is Fashion Institute Technology, an intern at Phat Farm, co-signed by Baltimore's own Kevin Liles. Then a tragedy hit. Lost the internship due to the streets. But he's back now, and he has a story to tell, and we are going to talk about it today. Toni Drakhan, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Nice to finally meet you.
Yes.
Welcome
yes.
to Talking with 3D Live.
Appreciate it.
Yes. So how is everything going? Because first off, I want to talk about this real quick. As I saw you on Instagram, saw you wheeled into the hospital. You got IVs, everything hooked up to you. And I know this is a different way of starting the show, but I just want to make sure, how is Toni doing today?
I'm doing good. Last year I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I really couldn't understand it. I really couldn't understand how I was able to get that, because like I don't drink, I don't smoke. You know what I mean? And I think it just came from poor eating habits. Because as I did the study, like the prostate and the cancer feeds on processed
What we
food,
put in our
sugar,
system.
and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I had a Dominican chick and a Muslim guy. They sent me the books and stuff for me to make smoothies and foods and stuff. And I told them, I just admitted, I was like, yo, my eating habits was poor. You know, I eat on the run, and I wasn't eating healthy, and I think that's what it was. So I was supposed to have the surgery the day before Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, I know ain't no doctor doing do that. So they called me. It was like, yeah, we got to postpone it. I said, yeah, I kind of figured that. I was like, I wasn't figuring my doc was going to do
Right.
like before the holiday. So I asked him to postpone it because I needed to get one of the episodes done this year. So after that, I went in the 18th. Everything's successful. My blood work came back, and I'm cancer-free.
Cancer-free, amen.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
So and you are feeling, you know, how do you feel now, knowing you're cancer-free, and have you changed eating habits, things that you've done?
I'm getting my appetite back because I've been on liquid diet for like 2 weeks. So I'm gradually getting my appetite back, but I'm doing it health-wise, like eating what I had to, proper food, veggies, and stuff like that.
Yeah, Toni, I'll go on a fast for 2 days, and I know my body is weak. I can't even stand up. So
I got an app though. I got an app on my phone, and every day it tells me what time I'm gonna eat, what time I'm gonna fast, what time I'm gonna eat. So it helps me. And I got a water app because I'm really not a water person. So I got the water app on my thing too. So that helps me out too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you're healthy, and you know, being cancer free. You know, that's something to celebrate right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, being cancer free. So let's get into talking about your journey, because you have a journey here. So let's start with 2009.
2000.
2009, you was indicted with a BMF case.
Yeah.
So first off, what is BMF?
As y'all know, y'all probably seen the series, this Black Mafia family. I was indicted in the case because I was doing gun trafficking and I was flying guns to Big Meech and them, and I got caught up. But I really had my own indictment going on, but then it ran into that one. And then, you know, I got jammed up and I had to sit for a while on that.
But Toni, this is my question, because I'm hearing, reading a lot about your story and everything. How does a person even get into, say, you got into the family? How does a person even get to that situation?
Well,
at what age were you?
I think I was like around about 20 or 21. Just growing up. And I want to say this because a lot of people always put the emphasis that parents, it's the parents' fault why a kid go this way. It wasn't. I grew up with my aunt. My mom signed her rights over to my aunt. My aunt did everything in the world to keep me out of the streets. But you got to understand, you 16, you 17, and you seeing other guys that's 19 and 18 and they making $10,000, $20,000 a day. Like, yo, I want that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't her fault. Even with my kids, I could give my kids everything in the world, but they going to choose their own path.
That's right.
And you can't blame a parent on that. Even if the parent give them the world, they going to choose their path. So I chose my path, and I wanted to get the money fast. And as I got older and kept getting money, I got into a mind thing that now I can help other people that didn't have money. Because I didn't use my money to be flashy and buy a whole bunch of cars. I did businesses, help people out, eviction notice, school, lending out money. And that's what made it better for me. It wasn't right, but it made it better for me that I was in a position to help other people. But the thing is like, yo, when I got sentenced, I remember he sentenced me, and my lawyer was like, well, he got a lot of things going on. He's a single parent. Can we push the sentence back? And it was December 12th. And I remember the judge said, well, I'm gonna let you get your affairs in order. You come back New Year's Day.
Okay.
When he sentenced me, I turned around and looked at my aunt. And it was the most hurting feeling to see on her face like she had failed.
Right.
And from that point on, I was like, yo, I never want her to feel like that ever again. Yeah. And through my whole sitting time, just remembering her face is just, it made me more vulnerable inside the jail. I did a lot of reading on multimedia. I did a lot of reading on how to do magazines and stuff like that. So I had a game plan when I was coming home. Unfortunately, like other guys that get locked up, they come home to nothing. Yeah. Me, when he gave me that time, I sold everything that I had illegal. I gave the money to my daughter mother, said, hold this till I came on. I came home. I met a young lady named Maria. She is now my business partner and my assistant. Maria rode with me like 3 years free, being my assistant. And we just put things together, and I just jumped right on back on track.
One thing that I want to go back to, because I think that it's important that you just said, that it's not the parent. It's the fact that you made a decision.
Yes.
Because we do have a lot of parents out there that, I'm going to say 95% parents want the best for their child, or whoever the adult that is raising you, and you consider your aunt as your parent. They are raising you to the best ability that they know.
Yeah.
But, you know, kids will go out and make their decisions.
The temptation, the worldly temptation is very more powerful than the parent love.
The parent influence.
Influence, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, we think the structure in the home is hard. We think the structure in the home is that, oh, you don't want me to have this. You don't want me to do this, when you don't know that that's the protection of raising you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. I have a 14-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm talking to him, giving everything well, but I know once he leaves the house, he has a choice of what he's going to do at the end of the day. And it's something that I can't have 24-hour surveillance on him. You know what I'm saying? I just let him know, it's like, yo, every choice that you make, it is a consequence, or it is a positive thing, and the choice is on you. And I simply let them know.
And it's true, because I have 3 boys, and 2 of the boys that are still living here at home, once they walk out that door, you have no idea what's going to happen with your children. And that's why sometimes they're like, oh, you want me to always call you? Want me to? Yes. You are to call when you get to where you're going. You're to call when you're leaving. So, we as parents, we provide that structure. It is up to the children then to take that structure and make something out of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then with the guys, and I say this with black sons, is more of a cautious thing now than it was ever before.
Yeah.
Because every time my son goes outside, I am petrified if he's going to come back.
He's going to come back,
from either he hanging around the wrong people, or he at the wrong place at the wrong time, or I got an overzealous police officer that just had a bad day and now he want to take it out on some kids, on color kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So every day is a thing, hoping that he comes back home.
Right.
And the same thing with me. I'm making sure that I get back home
to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 2015, you come home. You start your own multimedia promotion company.
Yes.
And that's with your sister.
No, my sister.
Your assistant.
Maria Cortez. Been with me for a minute. Yeah, I read up on, I read up on doing magazines. I wanted to do a magazine like Playboy, but for colored women and Latino women. And I came to find out, like, I was studying Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner went to 24 people to get loans. Everybody denied him. Everybody. Went to 14 banks. They denied him. They got to understand this is a white guy getting denied.
Right.
Right? So he went back to his friends. 4 of his friends got tired of him, kept asking. He gave him the money to start Playboy. And what people don't understand is that Playboy ain't just a new magazine. It really is a editorial magazine, because you only get like 6 pictures of nude in there. Everything else is journal. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was impressed on that. But when I came home and I seen that multimedia was a thing that blacks wasn't really into, because I seen how they control the narrative of the media. They control what they want you to hear, what they want you to see. Right. And they control the narrative of black people's perspective on other people. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people in other countries that really don't know about black, but they go by what they are narrated, seeing of black people, which is mostly negative influence. So that's why I wanted to do the multimedia.
Yeah. And then 2020, you become you have a private chef company?
Yeah.
Okay. So you done came from BMF case, you then started your multimedia promotion company, then a private chef company.
Yeah. So during COVID,
where do all these ideas come from?
Because during COVID, I seen people selling plates and food.
Okay.
And their food was looking nasty. And I said, yo, I know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? I said, now I'm gonna try.
Now, who
this.
taught you how to cook?
I taught myself how to cook.
Okay.
And what's crazy is I came down here one summer and my cousin hired me down a restaurant called American Cafe down in the harbor. And he actually taught me, he hired me. I started as a dishwasher, then I went to prep. Then he said, yo, you know how to cook? I said, yeah, I know how to cook. He said, no, you know how to cook. Run me around to the line, you know how to cook on this grill and everything. I said, oh, that's a different cooking. So he taught me how to cook. And I remember when a guy came in there and he was fresh out of culinary school, never been in a restaurant before in his life. My cousin was his line supervisor, and they gave the guy $3 more than him, and he had to train this guy. So he told me, he was like, yo, I need you to go get your paper so you get the paper, a culinary degree. I was like, all right, cool. So time went by, I decided to go to culinary school. At this time, I had asked Kevin, could he get me into Phat. And I remember I was sitting in culinary class and Kevin called me and he said, yo, you still want the job? I said, yeah, I need you to be in New York at 9 a.m. And I got up from class and I left. And I never went back to culinary.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But after that, I paid for my class and everything, but I just learned how to cook on my own. Culinary really doesn't teach you the aspects of when you get in these restaurants.
Right.
And things, you got to get a steak out in 15 to 10 minutes.
Right.
And it got to be well cooked or medium well. They don't teach that. They just teach you the basic and presentation. That's it. I done seen so many culinary students get on these lines in these kitchens and they fail. Because they don't prepare them for that.
Yeah.
They don't prepare them for $50,000 rushes or $100,000 rush.
Right.
Or when you on the grill and you got 23 steaks and 15 hamburgers, you got to get them all out in 20 minutes. They don't prepare them for that.
Yeah.
So during COVID, I was like, yo, I seen a lot of these people selling ugly plates.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm gonna start doing this. And my guys was laughing at me. The same ones that come over my house and eat though. I said, no, I'm gonna do this. So y'all came up with the name, came up with the logo, put my mask on, went down to the trade building, trademark and everything, and I put up a little menu. And then it took off from there. And what I learned is that women spend a lot of money on food and drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the biggest customers, food and drink. So how it turned into the catering, my guy, Amin, who services my Mercedes-Benz in Catonsville, I used to take him teriyaki pineapple bowls. His general manager asked me, he said, hey, you do the food and everything? I said, yeah. He got me my first catering gig at the Bentley dealership in Atlanta.
Okay.
And that's how I took off with the catering.
So you still chef?
Yeah. No, I'm not a chef.
Because I'm looking around and I don't see no samples coming up in here today. But we gonna digress. We gonna move past that. Okay. 2022. Now you move into a men and women's line, Powdered Kids Sew Me collection.
Yeah. It's Powder Kids is a line that is dedicated. We help kids that are victims to substance abuse. You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of the OGs that came out the game and now they're successful and they model the shirts and they buy the shirts and everything. And then the money from that, we just go and help the kids that's victims of parents that got like substance abuse and everything like that. So that's why it's Powder Kids, because they're a victim of cocaine and crack and everything like that. The Sew Me is actually my daughter came up with that name for the female line. So, you know, this is Sew Me. So that's how that came about. Yeah.
Gotcha. But then we move into 2023. You received a deal with Hulu for a self-documentary.
Yes.
And the self-documentary is called Can I Live?
No, the
That's
self-documentary. Yeah, it's called the Alpha David of Toni Drakhan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So where are we at with that right now?
That is kind of in limbo because of the deal with Hulu and Disney.
Now, can you talk about it?
I can't. But
Okay. Because I don't have my budget don't afford for them to be calling me up and talking about.
Something with Hulu is not with Disney no more, and I don't know where the documentary is hanging. I don't know if I could acquire it myself now or if it's still part of those, but it's definitely finished though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. So how can you talk about how the connection came between you and Hulu?
Yeah. A young lady from EA Sports that I was working with, she is, I say she was a senior program over Hulu. And she read a magazine article about me. And we sat down and we talked, just like me and you, and I was just telling her my story. And she was like, "Dang, can you still survive it?" She was like, "Yo, have you told anybody else like this on TV or anything like that?" I said, "No, just like, regular podcasts and interviews and stuff like that." She said, "I think this will make a great documentary." And that's how it came about.
In the documentary, because a lot of times we watch documentaries.
Yeah.
And we walk away at times, not saying all the time, but at times we'll walk away feeling we don't know really that person. Do you let us know the gritty, everything about
the
Toni
way they
Drake?
set it up is not like how Can I Live. The way they set it up is a lot of people, they reached out and they tell the stories.
Okay, tell their stories.
And it narrates from my adolescence up until now. But they have like fillers in there where they visit my school and my teachers and stuff like that. But I just feel that it's more, they crafted more to be safe than the actual real story.
Right. So you have written your own.
Yes.
So you wrote your own bio movie, Can I Live?
Yes.
And you partner with RocNation?
Yes.
Tell me about Can I Live? How did Can I Live get birthed? What was the backstory behind Can I Live?
Well, the backstory was because I was kind of upset. Like, I didn't like the way, like I was saying off screen, that Hulu wanted to make what I call like a Disney type documentary. And me and my man was talking, and he said, "Well, yo, you should do your own and tell the truth about what's going on, your journey, and through the industry and everything, and give the raw image." He said, "I think the raw image will sell more than that." I said, "All right, cool." So I wrote it. No, actually, I had two friends write the pilot, and I didn't like the pilot because they wrote it like a Lifetime pilot. I said, "No, this ain't it." So I learned how to write it.
So it was a lot of cushion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young lady named Clarice showed me how to write the script. And my guy Steve Bentley showed me how to write it. So I wrote it. It's like 200 something pages long, and I sent it
200 something pages.
236.
So you was trying to write the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
You was going that angle.
Yeah. So I was trying to put everything in there.
You started from
so everybody
birth.
can
The time you came out of the womb.
So when I sent the script to Albert was on his. I think he was on his way to.
Albert Gray. Albert Gray.
Albert texted me back and said, "Yo, what is this?"
Right.
I said, "Yo, it's the script." He said, "Yo, I can't read this." So he said, "Yo,
You
this
said
too
a novel.
long." Yeah. So my team was like, "Yo, that's like 3 hours, yo. Nobody gonna sit through that. Da da da." So you gotta cut some characters or cut it down. I was like, "Nah, I can't cut the people because they significant to the movie."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my guy Taz and my guy Versus, they came up and was like, "Yo, do that beside it." And I didn't know what episodic was. It's like, yo, what's that? It's like a series.
Right.
I said, oh, all right, cool. It's like that way you don't have to cut nobody. You keep all your characters and you build, you build, and you build. I said, all right, so I broke it down to a series. Now, Alvin was supposed to be my lead. And anybody know that Alvin has these spur of the moments where he want to do movies.
Right.
And once he get into his moments, he's locked in.
Right.
So I had to keep pushing back. And it was two factors that I had to change the characters. 'Cause I was pushing back and I had my homegirl Dream Doll, the artist. She was going to. So when she finally was ready, Alvin wasn't ready because he was doing another film.
Okay.
Which I was in his film.
Alvin was probably doing 15 films.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So then Dream sends me an invitation to baby shower. I said, all right, cool. So who baby shower? She's like, ta-da. She's like, yo, are you serious? She's like, yo, that's why I wanted to hurry up because I didn't want to film from my face up.
Right.
So now I had to push back again because I ain't have her. So I was like, yo, I gotta find a person, an artist that I don't have to write the rhyme for, make the music for, or anything like that. And so that's how Mr. Hollywood Tim came about. I asked Tim, Tim was good on it. Everything, he came aboard, and he's my lead. He's my lead actor. So what's it about is that we just showing the truth about the music industry. And I know as everybody have like a cliche, like they think they saw everything, but no, I get into details of how everything isn't glitter and gold.
Right.
And I'm not trying to persuade nobody not to do your dreams and music. I'm preparing you what goes on in this world when you enter it.
Right.
And you gotta have tough skin. Not only that, Tim plays the artist, Kayshawn, who's my childhood friend.
Okay.
And we show the difficulties when you acquire fame and fortune. You got people thinking you're richer than what you are. You got family members thinking you're richer than what you are. Then you become a bigger target. So now you got guys that want to take what you have. Now you on the police scene. They want to harass you.
Yeah.
Then you in a relationship. And now you surrounded by beautiful women. So the relationship thing is you trying to stay faithful while you're in this industry. So all of these factors is like a stress thing on a black man. You know what I'm saying? And we show the journey of how he navigates through this. Me is that I come home and he hires me so I could stay out of trouble. But we find out that when we get in this industry, it's not no different than the streets. Now we just dealing with crooks with suits on. You know what I'm saying? And everything is not what it seems.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Can I Live?
Yes.
So when will we get to see Can I Live?
So the thing is, we're shooting the pilots now. Then it turn it over to RocNation, and then they shop it for the networks.
Okay.
So for a network to pick it up. And then once they pick it up, then I can announce exactly where it's at, so people can see it.
What do you want the world to get out of Can I Live?
The same thing I just said, just like, no, this is what the industry is about. Is not a whole bunch of fame and glory like y'all think. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these artists is not really rich. They not. These labels is not for you. Is set up to be a trap, to constantly have you in debt and control everything that you have. And on top of that, don't think that money solves everything. It doesn't. Money solves little things or some things, but money also creates bigger problems.
Right.
The more that you have, you know what I'm saying? And you need to learn how to navigate through this when you come onto the scene of this type of world.
Gotcha. So you didn't bring me nothing to eat, but you did bring me something. So this is from the movie.
Yes, that's the merchandise.
The merchandise from Can I Live? And can you tell me just a little bit about this?
Yeah. So the question mark is Can I Live? It stands for still with the I. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that to show people everyday thing is, just can I live? Can I get these bills done? Can I get my car fixed? Can I get a raise? Can I just live for a moment? You know what I'm saying? Where everything is coming down on me. I just want to breathe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And during this time right now that we in, I think everybody wants to breathe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what Can I Live it is. We just showing all the accolades that come down, and we showing two guys that just want to get everything out the way and they just want to relax. Something like Thanos in the end game. Thanos wasn't the evil. He just wanted to reset the universe and be at peace. Because if you looked at Marvel, you looked at credits, at the end, he was on a planet by himself.
Right.
Peaceful. That's what his thinking of resetting because of society and how they was going, that's his reset, was to make everything balanced and peaceful.
Right.
So we cannot live with something like that. It's just that, I just want to live. I don't want no drama.
Yeah.
I don't want no peace. I just want to be able to come out and enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
Yeah.
And that's what it should be all about. Listen, Toni, we ran out of time. We ran out of time, but I'm so interested in seeing the bio Can I Live? And so when it comes up, please make sure that we know what it is, because we want to come.
Every blog and podcast I've been on, I definitely will invite y'all first.
Please.
VIP to come in and experience.
Yeah.
And it's not, let me let y'all
work.
know this, okay? I'm not doing one of those 30
Talking
or 40,
to them in your camera.
Oh, the camera. I'm sorry. I'm not doing one of those $30 or $40 premiere theaters and you ain't getting nothing. Is this going to be a extravagant rollout premiere that you could come and see and enjoy with the actors, the artists, and everything like that? It's not going to be no theater, and I'm not charging outrageous prices just to sit and watch a premiere. I'm not doing that. I'm going to give you everything worth your money to see this.
To give back. Yeah. Listen, we ran out of time. I thank you for coming by. But before you guys click off, make sure, because we're going to show the trailer of Can I Live right at the end of Talking with 3D. So please stay tuned for the trailer of Can I Live. So go out, love one each other. And again, make sure you click it, love it, share it, do all those things. Make sure that everybody is tuned in to Talking with 3D Live. I'm your host, Derrick Dixon, and this is where we sip the coffee, spill the tea. Go out and love somebody intentionally. Peace. Stay tuned for the trailer.
Let's work. Every day I'm hustling, hustling, hustling. Hustling, hustling. Keep grinding, hustling.